Hi, it's Mark from Top Local. I'm here with Darrell Ross. Darrell's a business coach in Vancouver. He's a networking superstar, worldwide connections, and he coaches all kinds of little businesses, big businesses, all sorts of types of businesses about goal setting and how to get there. And that's what we're going to talk about. Who else needs to be involved? How you doing, Darrell?
Thanks, Mark. So this question came up. It was going through a comprehensive goal setting exercise with a client where there's owners who own a particular business and they have some employees. And one of the questions that was asked of them was, who else has to be involved? And so it was very eye-opening to them because they had these goals that they wanted to reach, and they knew that they had a revenue target that they were going for, and they knew it would be more work and they were going to have to work harder and all this stuff. But when they actually started drilling down and looking at what it would take, the little steps to achieve that goal, they realized, oh, this is going to involve this employee and it's going to involve this contractor. And, also when they're analyzing their time, it was going to take a little bit more, et cetera. So really considering who else has to be involved. And obviously, if it's a larger company, the leadership team, if it's a case where it's top down and the leadership team is setting the goals and the company just has to try to achieve them. So how does that happen? Is there a way to enroll people in setting the goals as well? Or does that have to happen afterwards? How much time is it going to take to educate the people to be on board? And, what tools will they need to be able to jump on board and, all be riding the bus in the same direction, that kind of stuff. And then maybe it's just a solo entrepreneur. It could be a professional private practice like a realtor or mortgage broker, but they have a family. And so if they're setting a big goal and it's going to take a lot more time and effort and work, how is that going to be communicated to the family to get them to agree that this is a worthwhile goal? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So it's a really key question. Who else needs to be involved?
Yeah, so this reminds me of, the thought that comes to mind is like the difference in leadership styles. So working in a big, multi-billion-dollar organization, it's kind of like often can be, perhaps my experience was, yeah, you know what? Here's how it is, and tough.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. And everyone else is going to have to suck it up because the big boss has decided this is where we're going. And with no consideration about who else needs to be involved because I'm the big boss.
Right.
Or, like you mentioned, how do you bring other people along with that? How do you get them enrolled in the value of doing this? So how do you coach that? How do you actually, when you're working with these entrepreneurs, not just revealing what the issues might be, but how do you get them to actually bring the other people along?
Yeah, so my suggestion would be to try to find a way to set the goals together. So, analyze the previous year and not in a way to beat people up for not achieving the goals, et cetera, but just look at what happened and what could be done better. And so, okay, so based on that, where can we move together? Or if there is, if there is something that has to be mandated from on top, it's like, okay, well, this would be the desired outcome. How do you think you could achieve that? But involving people in the process, people are much more motivated when they feel like they are contributing, probably even more so than, a token bonus based on an increase. They'd probably feel a lot better if they were actually involved in setting the vision and then achieving that vision and being sincerely thanked for that. I think it takes planning beforehand and involving people as much as possible.
How much do you think ownership of the ideas plays into that team wanting to be involved?
Oh, I think it's huge, and like I say, people like to know that they contribute. So if they're the ones that have ownership of a particular idea that gets adopted and is successful, obviously they would want to be recognized in some way for having contributed that.
So there you go. If you're looking for some insight about how to get your team involved, if you're looking for some ideas on how to reach those goals in a consistent, not soul crushing, the opposite of that,
Exactly.
enlivening, enjoyable, wonderful way to grow your business, this is the guy to call, Darrell Ross. You can reach him at 604 218-4702 in Vancouver, or you can email him at Darrell@morebusinessmorelifenow.com. Thanks, Darrell.
Yeah, you're welcome, Mark.